Welcome one, welcome all, and welcome back for another dose of Nightmare Fuel, the show that injects you with the frightening memories of years gone by. On this episode, I am genuinely amazed at how long it's taken to get round to this fucking thing. This one's gonna get really tough to explain because it's one of the most bizarre pop culture icons the UK has ever produced, and I am flabbergasted as to why. Back in the 90s, there was a light entertainment variety show on the BBC hosted by Noel Edmonds called Noel's House Party, which was an evolved version of his previous show, the Noel Edmonds Saturday Roadshow. Noel's House Party was set in the fictional town of Crinkly Bottom. Oh, it's an innuendo, and would often feature celebrity guests popping their head in for a few laughs and an easy payday. The show had multiple recurring segments like Gotcha, which was hidden camera pranks, the Gunge Tank, where a phone vote often led to celebrities or unpopular people being dunked into a vat of goo, Grab a Grand, where a celebrity in a big Perspex box had to catch as much money as possible blown up by a big fan to give it to, well, a big fan. It's your standard variety show. We've always had variations of the format, even today with Ant and Dec's Saturday Night Takeaway. One thing that you probably wouldn't want to see as a regular occurrence on a show such as this, however, is one of the most unintentionally weird, nightmarish beings ever conceptualized. It's time to talk about Mr. Blobby. Where the fucking hell do I start here? He's an enormous pink creature with yellow spots, looking like a chode with a yeast infection, with massive googly eyes that bounce all over the place like a game of pinball, and an electronically modulated voice where he does nothing but scream and shout the word Blobby. It's kinda like Groot in that respect, if Groot was the personification of an STD mixed with LSD. Mr. Blobby didn't come onto Noel's House Party until the second series, and was basically an excuse for Edmonds to play practical jokes on guests. But somehow, this fucking thing became a household name. Mr. Blobby merchandise was flying out the doors left, right and centre. There were even theme parks based on him. How? I mean, just look at the clip of him, man. He's so fear-inducing because of how bloody random he is. Not only does he look like a bad mushroom trip, everything about his character is bizarre. His body language and persona consist of bumbling all over the place, terrorizing innocent bystanders, destroying everything around him, I mean everything, acting like a twat in public, and intimidating kids. Mr. Blobby genuinely seems demonic. The modulation on his voice sounds like exorcism recordings. Whenever he's not saying the word Blobby, when he's just muttering incoherently or heavily breathing, it sounds horrendous. It's like the noise the Thing makes in, well, The Thing. His permanently happy face with toothy grin and those bulging eyes are terrible as well. He's completely unpredictable and just a tour de force of chaotic energy. Take this clip for example, where he comes out on stage wanting to go on holiday. He's got his suitcase there but can't get it shut, so he jumps on it repeatedly and nearly goes arse over tit. Then Noel says he can't come on holiday and he gets really upset, so he just decides to collapse against the set. He goes down like a sack of tatties. Then he just starts throwing a tantrum, headbutting the walls and shit. Like, what is going on? How did people buy into this? Well, you want to know something? I did. I used to adore this bloody thing. I remember owning the VHS tapes. I remember having the fancy dress costume. I remember having toys. I remember owning the cassette. Oh, wait, you don't know about the cassette? Well, yeah, this possessed hellspawn was in the running for a Christmas #1. He actually spent 3 weeks at #1 in a song considered to be one of the single worst songs of all time. It's like a children's choir singing about their love for him. The lyrics just bang on about his philosophy of life, as if he's got one of those, and how he's an accomplished being. He's like omnipotent and powerful. It's as if the song itself is designed like a cult's worship anthem. This is the Gloria Gloria in excelsis Deo of 90s TV freaks. We were all brainwashed by Mr. Blobby. We were told he was amazing and everyone fell for it. Well, in hindsight, he's one of the nonciest things I've ever seen. He just exudes bad juju energy, and I fear for my sanity because half of me loves him and the other half finds him off the scale nightmare inducing. I'm not the only one though. There's a whole community surrounding Mr. Blobby, which mainly cites the way he acts and his unsettling demonic voice SFX. But Blobby is like Michael Bloody Myers. The fucker just refuses to stay down. He pops up every now and again on British TV just to remind us all not to forget him. He's like Pennywise. He was on Harry Hill's TV Burp when he ambushed Doc Cotton from EastEnders.
You.
He invaded the set of This Morning where he destroyed the set.
Surely.
Well, again, I mean, like with Mr. Blobby, totally unexpected.
He was even on the Big Fat Quiz of the Year where he scared the shit out of Jack Whitehall.
What the fuck were you allowed near kids?
No TV show's set is safe. Blobby will always be lurking in the back of our minds for us to question, hang on, we actually bought into this thing? Mr. Blobby was ridiculed by critics, I mean, is that a surprise? For being a symbol of British audiences going numb in the brain. There's no rhyme or reason to Mr. Blobby. He's just a strange anthropomorphic mass who acts like a spoiled brat. But it's exactly that unpredictability that for some reason we enjoyed. We all just left our brains at the door and let the madness happen. He was an absolute car crash of a character, but definitely one that will never be forgotten, and not for good reasons. Are you a part of the Blobby generation and have a story to tell about how he also terrified you as a child, or even now as a grown-up? Let me know in the comments below, as well as any other nightmare fuel sources you'd like me to visit down the line on the show. Until then, Blobby, Blobby, Blobby!